Hey, you like cutting stuff? If you answered yes to this question, then I have the perfect project for you. How about a snazzy looking cutting board? Now you got a nice little board to do all your cutting on. Cut really small tomatoes on it, even rotten apples, we won't tell. To make our cutting board, we'll be using a Win 4x36 inch belt disc sander and a Win dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. First and foremost, you're going to need some wood. I measured and cut 3 16-inch pieces of 1x4 inch mahogany and 2 16-inch pieces of 1x2 inch maple. You should end up with 5 pieces of wood for your cutting board. Next step is to apply the glue. Make sure to use a non-toxic glue that is water resistant and FDA approved for indirect food contact. After double checking that everything is level, clamp the board down and leave it to dry. Once she's done drying, you can move on to the fun part, sanding down the edges and faces of the board. I started with the disc on our belt disc sander to round out the corners of the board. Once they are nice and round, I moved on to cleaning up the faces with the sanding belt. Always move your workpiece around, as leaving it in one spot for too long may make your final product uneven. For simple cleanup, attach a Win dust extractor to your belt disc sander to keep the sawdust from going too wild. Finally, I rounded out the edges of the board. Both the corners and sides can be a little frustrating to sand, but with some practice, creating rounded edges becomes fairly easy. Once everything is nice and round, you can do a once-over on the project with some extra sandpaper and elbow grease to make sure those corners and edges are nice and smooth. Finally, pick your favorite food-safe finish and apply a few coats to the cutting board. Again, make sure the finish you use is food-safe, since it will be coming in direct contact with your food. So there you have it. That's how to make a cutting board. Now you can cut stuff. Great, look at that. Looks pretty good. So remember, when you need a basic woodworking project to learn about sawing and sanding,
remember when.